Okay guys, welcome to my video, Asian MMA, giving you UFC 141 post-afterthoughts, Brock Lesnar versus Alistair Overeem. Man, it's not that big of a shock for me or any people watching this fight that wasn't a casual fan, And, Alistair Overeem stuffed the one chance that Brock Lesnar had to take down, and the fight was his from there on. You can't take the fight to the ground. How you expect to win against the best striker in the world at the heavyweight division, The only person that possibly can stand against Overeem is Junior Dos Santos, and even then, I think of Junior Dos Santos, I'm thinking, what does Junior Dos Santos bring to the table that no one else has? Speed, boxing, striking. So when I think of speed and boxing, I think of Badahari, Look up Badahari, look at his YouTube highlights. The guy's a freaking animal. He's assassin. He's fast. He has knockout power, and he throws kicks. So Alistair Overeem beat this guy. So what are the chances of Junior Dos Santos beating him? I would say like 20 to 80% Overeem wins that. 8 times out of 10, Overeem wins that fight. So good luck, Junior Dos Santos. Who else is gonna step up? Cain Velasquez. He couldn't even handle Junior Dos Santos punching him. Got knocked out. How's he going to take down Alistair Overeem before he does that? Carwin, slow power puncher. He's going to get decimated. Roy Nelson, he got beat up by Junior Dos Santos. If Junior Dos Santos does that, so who's going to challenge Alistair Overeem? He's going to be the best heavyweight in the world. The only people that makes sense to give him a title shot is the winner of Strikeforce Grand Prix, Josh Barnett, the return to UFC. I'm getting excited for that fight. And Daniel Cormier, the teammate of Cain Velasquez. Man, they could jump up to number 2 heavyweight after that Grand Prix, man. I'm serious. Good for them. But good for Alistair Overeem, man. Hopefully we see that early summer. Junior Dos Santos has a injury. Hopefully he gets 100% ASAP. And he can defend his belt. I'm going to be really stoked on that. Okay. Donald Cerrone. Nate Diaz. Donald Cerrone. The pride got to him. The pride in his heart to say, I'm going to fight this guy at his own game. Bad outcome. I said this. I wouldn't be surprised if Nate Diaz got the better of Donald Cerrone, even though on paper he's the better striker. I wouldn't be surprised, because Paul Daly got boxed up and he's the supposedly better striker, and I wouldn't be surprised if Nate Diaz did that Donald Cerrone. It just sucks to watch that you have the tools. Paul Daly didn't have the tools to take it to the ground and grind out decision, even though he is the more explosive fighter, the more probably the stronger fighter. He didn't have the tools to take it to the ground, so he only had one choice: to stand on the feet. But Donald Cerrone, he had the tools, he had the wrestling ability, he had the explosiveness, he had the athletic ability, he had everything to take the fight to the ground, yet he elected to stand with them and get punched in the face for 3 rounds, which is ridiculous, Fight of the night, yes, but, for me, it was like, take the fight to the ground, man. You're on the doorstep of a title shot. Even Josh Koscheck had enough, he had enough, knew where he stood to where the title shot was. He knew where he was, and yet he stuck to the game plan. Donald Cerrone's like, I'll get title shot next year. Come on, man. You had the title shot. MMA isn't just boxing. It's wrestling. It's jiu-jitsu. It's submission. Go for the submission, man. Nate Diaz submitting you, it's going to be really, really hard. Just grind out decision. You don't have to lay and pray. You just work your ground and pound. You can still beat the guy up on the ground. It's not like you're a boring lay and pray fighter. Yeah. But good on Nate Diaz, man. This is what Nate Diaz is probably, in my opinion, the number 1 contender at the belt at this point, because everyone got knocked out, Melvin Gillard lost a title shot. Jim Miller lost a title shot. Gray Maynard just lost. Who else is there? Nate Diaz earned a title shot just like that. Because everyone dropped like fleas. Boom, 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 boom. My question is, if he wins against Benson Henderson versus Frankie Edgar, what does Gilbert Melendez does? Because he has no challengers. He has no challengers. So he might actually come over to the UFC. Now, he's not going to fight Nate Diaz. He's not going to fight Nick Diaz. is he jumping up to middleweight, or is he just going to be happy just fighting top contenders at lightweight, top contenders at welterweight? Because Gil Melendez said he wants to move up to welterweight, which is, I find really hard, you know, because he used to fight at bantamweight. Jesus, that's messy, man. Really, really messy. But good on Diaz brothers, man. Both of them have title shots, which is ridiculous, you know, in my opinion. If Nate Diaz doesn't deserve a title shot off that, I don't know who does, you know. No, they have no more challengers for the lightweight division at this moment except for Gil Melendez and Nate Diaz. So they both got title shots. Who else? John Fitch, man. I had money on John Fitch. Very, very depressing. He got knocked out. He didn't even do anything in the fight. He got knocked out. He didn't do anything in the fight, so sad. Hendricks, good for you. I actually want to see you fight GSP, but please, man, if you get that title shot, somehow this video gets to you, please don't go in there and strike with him. Please don't. Every guy with knockout power goes in there and fights him stand up, and they get beat up, you know. They get taken down and get beat up. Just go in there and wrestle him for 5 rounds. Use your background of wrestling. Just try to sneak that decision away from him. I think that's the best game plan. Make GSP realize that you can't just grind out decisions like that, you know. Give him a taste of his own medicine. You're the better wrestler. Turn it into a wrestling match. You know, he's the better mixed martial artist. But if he fights you in a wrestling match, guess what? Your chances are increased. You know, if you're going MMA skill, guess what? GSP is greater. If you're going wrestling ability with wrestling ability, yours is greater. So it doesn't take a genius. Go wrestling. Just turn it into a really, really boring wrestling match. Give GSP a taste of his own medicine. Maybe GSP will come back and give us the exciting GSP where he came in and said, I'm not impressed with your performance. And why do I say that? Come on, guys. Come. I've been watching old DVDs of the old stuff, you know, all the way from UFC 1 to GSP becoming a contender, GSP winning the belt, and stuff like that. You know, I've been watching GSP. GSP, he used to be a really exciting fighter. Oh, one more thing while we're here. Man, check this action figure out. That's pretty badass. Bruce Lee. Action figure. Official UFC product. I'm pretty stoked on that. Just had to buy it. You know, I'm poor. Really poor. You guys should send me some money on eBay or Kijiji. Fuck, I don't know. What's that website where you send money? What does eBay use? I got nothing. Okay. It was just a bluff. Don't send me money. That's my post afterthoughts. Thank you for watching. A little bit boring. Jose Aldo versus Chad Mendes up next. I'll give you my prediction in a few days. Thanks for watching.